Hi, um, this video is going to be the first video in the series of three where I talk about our identities and consciousness. And I would like to talk about Yin and Yang and how these energies manifest themselves in our bodies. As we, first of all, identify with our body, because anywhere we go, we bring our body with us. That's why we think that we are somewhere inside of it. When we're born either into feminine or masculine body. It's common to think about yin and yang as feminine and masculine aspects, assigning women more in roles as in receptive, caring, caregiving, and men being more assertive, dominant, and giving. But these are just social roles that we play within our society. But when it comes to our body, what distinguishes man and woman is just some parts of our body. But what is it to do with yin and yang? First, I would like to talk about life itself in general as a process, as we all live, men and women, in our female and male bodies. The closest I can define life is just a series of changes that happen, and yin and yang are underlying forces that make every process possible, including life. By that, I mean, for example, you see, I'm on the seaside and sea waves. Sea in general represents yin as water, and the rocks I'm sitting on is yang as their heart, and they are shaping the coastline, while water just takes any shape that rocks gives it. So this is the process of yin and yang. When the wave comes closer to us and it touches the shore, it comes with a force, and this is an yang part of the process. But then when the wave pulls back, it's an yin process as it's being pulled back by itself. The process of life happens within us according to yin and yang principles. When we think what life boils down to is just a series of cycles that we go through again and again and again, the shortest ones would be our breathing and heartbeat. We don't even control neither breathing nor heartbeat. It just happens outside of our control. You can of course intentionally stop breathing, but you can't stop breathing entirely. That means you will be dead. You can't affect your heartbeat directly. At least, well, some yogis can do that, but normal, just common human being, they would never affect their own heartbeat unless they start running, and the heartbeat will raise itself because you don't need to do anything to raise your heartbeat. It raises by itself, so you don't control it. You go to sleep, that's another cycle. Women have periods, that's another cycle. So these are all pre-programmed biological cycles and programs that we are running on, and we don't control it. You might want to say that it's the brain that controls all of these processes within our bodies, but then if you have a brain, then you need to understand how it works, because you don't control your brain. You don't understand how your brain works either. What there is left for us to control? What can we control in our life in general? Every process consists of yin and yang part of it. For example, when you breathe in, that means your muscles contract to expand your chest, to suck in the air, and this is the yang part. When you breathe out, you relax your muscles and your chest falls down, and the air being squeezed out of your chest. This is the yang in part of this process. Breathing cannot happen without these two parts coming together and working together. If yin happens, yang happens too. If yang happens, yin happens too. So we are in our bodies, believing that we are somewhere in our bodies. But can you ask yourself a question: where exactly do you attach to your body? Where is it you and something else starts? We usually believe that our body, well, physical and whatever you can touch and feel, is where you kind of finish. You feel your borders with your skin. But I have a question for you, Dan. You're about to have lunch. There is a sandwich in front of you and it's on the table. You can certainly say that you want a sandwich as it's outside of your body. Then you take a bite and you start chewing the sandwich and you start feeling the taste of it. So if you start feeling the taste of sandwich, that means you are in your mouth. But we just talked about not being able to identify which part of the body we are attached to. Because if you think that you are in your mouth and you actually try to find yourself there, you won't. You find nothing of there. Same with brain and same with heart. When you chew the sandwich, you feel the taste and you think you feel it in your mouth. Then you swallow it and the sandwich goes into your stomach. Is it still, does the sandwich exist or it doesn't anymore? At which point the sandwich stop existing and being the sandwich? When you start digesting it, or when it's being chewed in small parts and became a paste that went down your gastroenterological tract? What's the difference between a sandwich inside of your stomach and a sandwich on the table? This The order of molecules have changed. You put the sandwich into your mouth, chew it, and the order of molecules were distracted. Like it became more chaotic, and then it went down to your stomach. It mixed with your stomach juice. Is it still you, or is it still not you when it's mixed with your stomach juice? And the sandwich starts to absorb and going through your liver, coming to the bloodstream. Is it still a sandwich or not? Or it's already you? When you think about the process of digestion and how your food is transitioning from the state of being non-you into you, there is yin and yang process involved in it. When you chew the sandwich, your muscles contracting and relaxing. The process of chewing becomes yin and yang dance of energies. Then the sandwich, because you're putting it inside of your body, and inside represent yin type of the container is an yin type, then yang is the sandwich itself because it comes to your mouth. Digestion is process of reorganizing molecules that were in the sandwich into a more chaotic state. It's an in part of the process, but then absorbing those molecules from the sandwich is a yang parts of the process because it's acting. So yin and yang is this beautiful dance that happens everywhere, and you can't really see a clear line between where you and non-you in this process change its states. Then the question rises is, are you someone who has limits and borders, or are you someone who experiences the process? Because when you see the sandwich on the table, you experience the sandwich being there. You are being the process of seeing the sandwich, and then you become a process of eating the sandwich. But at no point in this chain of events, at no point you were separated from the sandwich. You actually don't exist without the sandwich in that sense, in that particular moment. For example, now you are watching this video and I am talking, I am actively talking, I am being Yan, and you're being in, receiving this information and absorbing information. But once I close my mouth now for 5 seconds, and when you're going to put like onto this video, you will become young, and this makes this whole thing possible of me recording this video now and you watching this video later. As I'm recording it, I'm being an active part of the video, but the camera is doing in job. It's absorbing the picture and recording what I'm saying. To sum up, the purpose of this video is to raise more questions than there were before about how we identify with our bodies, and especially if our bodies have genders, how we identify with genders. I urge you to think about what it means to be a woman or a man. Because if you think that, if you define a woman as someone having specific types of body parts, or a man having specific type of body parts, it's kind of a shallow definition. And I'm sure if you go out in the streets and you would ask people what does it mean to be a woman, they will bring you way more examples than just having a vagina. Or same comes to a man. What it means to be a man, that's probably not just having a, a penis. So we are beyond our bodies. That's how I would like to end this video. You can experiment with trying to identify yin and yang energies yourself, because it's the first step of moving from dual perspective into non-duality, because of course there is man and woman, and of course we can identify which body is which, but this is a dual perspective where um, we separate ourselves from the opposite, while in fact we are the same. What we identify with is not in reality what we are. Thank you very much for watching, and I know it's a very confusing story, but I appreciate your patience. You'll tell me if it resonates with you. Thank you, and bye.